As a matter of fact, there was one special museum that was built just to show how bad the Jews were, things like that. Yes, those left an impression.
Okay. You said you could trace your mother's family back into the 1600s in Germany. So you had a large family in Germany?
Well, my mother was one of 6 children. And of course, going back to her mother, and as you know, when you go back like this, the spread of people gets to be larger and larger. So
do you know how many people your family lost in the Holocaust?
Well, as I said, my youngest aunt and her husband, we know that two of my dad's brothers we've never heard from before. And there were some other uncles and such. The Germans kept very good records, except, where they couldn't. Like many of the 6 million were killed before the extermination camps were ever built. But the ones in the camps, they had very good records. And these records have been recovered since the war. So we have records of the 3 at Theresienstadt, which has their names, when they arrived, when they left, whether they survived, like my grandmother, and the 2 that were killed when they were shipped to Auschwitz and killed. I said earlier that Theresienstadt was a special camp that was not an extermination camp, but the history says that of about 150,000 people that went through that camp during the war, only 50,000 survived.
Do you remember anything about your boat ride across the Atlantic?
Oh, yeah.
Can you want to talk about it?
Well, first we went through Holland to a little boat going across the channel in the middle of a storm. From there we went to London. We had 2 days in London. And from there to Liverpool, where we went on shipboard. This particular ship went from Liverpool to Belfast, and from there to Halifax, Canada, and from there to New York. One of the interesting sidelines here was that, on a shipboard, they show you on a map every day where you are and where you're going. And one day, when we were getting near Halifax, we were going in a place and there was a little cross there, and we asked, what was that? And they said, oh, that's where the Titanic sank. And so it was a long trip. As a matter of fact, we had a choice at that time of going either on the Queen Mary out of Southampton, which would take about 6 days, or on this ship, which would take 10 days. And my dad chose that one because he said, nobody's waiting for us. But once we got out of Germany, he was in no hurry. The way we chose to come to Buffalo was we met a family on a ship that was coming also out of Germany. And they were coming to Buffalo because their uncle had them sent the papers. So now we knew somebody, so we came to Buffalo.
Excellent. Do you need to switch it on?
We got 8 more minutes.
Okay. You know that we're recording this for the HRC, but in a larger capacity that this is going to go for educational purposes, for Holocaust education,
Yes.
So do you think you could maybe speak about your thoughts about the importance, how important Holocaust education is?
Yeah. Well, it's important because the persecution of people is not just Jews. Sometime over history, there is no ethnic group that hasn't been persecuted at one time or another. The Holocaust is a particularly large group. I don't think there was any instance ever where 6 million people were killed, or for that matter, 11 million were killed. And so we speak to people, mainly schools. And one of the points we usually try to make is we're some of the last ones that can tell them what actually happened, because we're all getting older, and every year there are fewer of us, and try to point out to them that it's up to them, the next generation, to see that this never happens again to any other group. And we hope at least that some of them remember and will do that.
Excellent. Elizabeth, do you have any questions?
No.
I was wondering if maybe we could take a couple pictures of the little steel box, if you,
Yeah.
do you still have their passports with the
Yeah,
J stamp?
I have one of them.
Do you think we could look at them and take some
Sure.
pictures?